For today's video, we'll be finishing off our series on Islam. And to finish it off, we're working on Islam and the search for meaning in life. Now, people look to various sources, both religious and non religious, for the answers to life's big questions. Islam, like all the other religious faiths, provides answers to these questions for its believers. Same as Christianity, same as Judaism, same as all the other religions that we're going to study. However, these answers that we look at here should be understood in isolation. Instead, each answer a religion provides is best understood like a piece in a jigsaw. The reason why we will be comparing and contrasting all the religions and their way that they find value and meaning in life. But if we're asked a question on a singular religion on its own, that's why we treat it like a piece of a jigsaw. Only when these answers are understood together can we grasp the full power of the religion, the full viewpoint of the religion, and then and only then can we appreciate the religion's worldview. Each religion's approach to life, to the big questions, is different. However, they all address the deeper mysteries of life. Key questions and answered, that are answered by Islam include something like, why are we here? What is the goal of life? How can I live a good life? And like all the other religions, and for a lot of people, whether they're religious or not, what happens when I die? Now, first one is the why are we here? Okay, Islam is a strong monotheistic religion. It's an Abrahamic religion. It believes in Allah alone as the supreme power. Allah created all there is, including human beings, and has communicated with humanity through the prophets and through the Quran. Human beings are here on earth to submit to the will of Allah as communicated in the Quran. The very name of the faith itself, Islam, translates as peace through submission. Okay? Muslims believe that peace, both for the individual and the society as a whole itself, is only achieved in submitting to the will of Allah. That's why Muslims believe that they are there. So again, the key point that we have to reiterate, Islam means peace through submission. So the goal of life as understood by Islam is to be judged worthy of paradise after you die. So we're going back to this idea of a paradise versus a hell, the idea that what you do in this life is reflected in your judgment day. So, how do Muslims live a good life? Now, we've discussed this already, but this is just to sum it up. To live a good life as a Muslim is to practice the 5 pillars of Islam themselves and to obey the Sharia or the Islamic law. To live a good life following the 5 pillars, a Muslim must, number 1, believe there is no God but Allah and that Muhammad is a prophet. It's that Shahada, it's that declaration of faith. They must pray 5 times daily, which is our Salat pillar. They must give generously to charity, which through zakat or almsgiving. And remember, the recommended amount is that if you are financially able to and financially viable, that roughly around 2.5% to 3% of your yearly earnings are to go to charity. They fast to develop self-discipline and to empathize with the plight, followed by the poor, which is the Saum. And then we have the Hajj, that every Muslim must undertake this pilgrimage to Mecca at least once in one's lifetime. But again, that has allowances once you have the intention to go. But if you're too sick or it's financially you're not able, you can't afford it, then there are allowances made within the religion for that. Now, the Sharia law influences Muslims across the world in different ways, as we mentioned in previous videos, and depending on the country and the laws of the land, how stringently or how regularly enforced is the Sharia law, and it's done to different extents. But a number of things, regardless of where you are across the world, if you're Muslim, is considered forbidden, which is haram. Okay, and for Muslims under Sharia, this includes things like gambling, drinking alcohol, lying, stealing, and eating pork. So, what's the meaning of life and how you conduct yourself on this life in this earth? The last one then is the big question, is there belief in the afterlife? Is there belief in life after death? Whether we take this question in isolation on Islam or whether we compare it to the bigger picture with all the other religions and all the other beliefs, what we do know is, like the other Abrahamic religions especially, Islam teaches that there is a life after death, that this Akira exists, and it comprises of both paradise and hell. For Muslims, their life here on earth is a chance to avoid hell and to secure a place in paradise. So on the Day of Judgment, or as it's known in Arabic, on Yawm al-Din, every being who has ever lived will be raised from their graves and judged by Allah. Paradise, which is Jannah in this case, or in Arabic, will be the reward of those who have been faithful to Islam. Jannah is described in the Quran as a place of delight and everlasting youth, and it's given as a gift from Allah. Those who perform more bad deeds than good deeds in their life will be punished with hell, though, and that's what we call Jahannam. There is the place of bodily and spiritual suffering. So when we reflect upon all this, what you're looking at is still the big questions in life. Where do we come from? Why are we here? What does it mean to live a good life? How do we find our morality? How do we find our sense of values? And of course, again, the belief in the afterlife. This, along with all the other elements of Islam that we've studied on this course, can be tied back to the 5 pillars and to Sharia. Okay, lads, thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you again soon.